SpaceX proceeding with Starship orbital launch attempt after static fire. Orlando, SpaceX's static fire trial of virtually every one of the motors in its Starship sponsor prior this month was the last box to check before the vehicle's most memorable orbital launch endeavor, reasonable sometime and walk, an organization official said February 21. Talking on a board at the Space Mobility meeting here about rocket freight conveyance, Gary Henry, senior guide for public safety space arrangements at SpaceX, said both the Super Heavy booster and its platform were looking great after the February 9 test, making room for an orbital launch that is as yet forthcoming a Federal Aviation Administration launch permit. "We had an effective hot fire, and that was actually the last box to check," he said. "The vehicle is looking great. The pad is looking great." Just 31 of the 33 Raptor motors in the Super Heavy booster terminated. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk tweeted soon after the test that one motor was told off not long before start and a second closed down right on time. He later said that the motors ran at half of their appraised push. That prompted theory that SpaceX would have to play out a subsequent static fire test to get every one of the 33 motors, or to run them at higher push levels. Henry, however, proposed that SpaceX was not arranging one more such test before an orbital launch endeavor. "Basically, each of the requirements to supporting an orbital show endeavor here in the following month or so look great," he said. "The organization actually needs to acquire a FAA launch permit prior to endeavoring the launch. We desire to get that permit in the extremely not-so-distant future," he expressed, setting up a launch endeavor most likely in the period of spring. When SpaceX plays out that orbital launch show, Henry said the organization is prepared to push forward quickly with functional Starship dispatches. "We immediately merge on a framework that we can operationalize," he expressed, beginning with dispatches of second-age Starlink satellites. "We have not many that are standing by persistently to be sent off on Starship. Those underlying Starlink dispatches will act as a test program," he made sense of, refining the launch and recuperation of the two phases of Starship. "Someplace in that venture that will happen this year, we will make a significant turn to the following piece of the human landing system design," he said, by exhibiting the orbital warehouse required for on-circle refueling of the lunar lander variant of Starship. "That will give extra experience testing Starship through the big haulers that will travel to convey force to the warehouse. The decent thing about big haulers is that they must reappear also," he said. "We've made this rubric, in the following little while, where we will actually want to do a great deal of trial and error on that warm security framework that will permit fruitful re-emergence of Starship. Starship," Henry contended later in the board, "will forcefully drive down launch costs. We are on the cusp of seeing a chance of mass to circle go from $2,000 a kilogram to $200 a kilogram," he said. "In the long haul, expenses could additionally decline to where the charge is the biggest component in the per-launch negligible expense." Thank you for watching the video to the end. Please, if you love our video, click the like button, give us a thumb up, subscribe, share and drop a comment on the video you like to see next.